Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how to do it, even if you don't care. And we're going to continue with our Year of the Eldar video, looking at the new Forge World models for the Eldar that they've just came out with. And like I said, I'm very excited about this because the sheer fact that I just love the Eldar so much, and I'm just finally glad that Forge World is giving them a little bit more of a looks-over than they usually do, since they do tend to focus on the Imperial Guard. Not that the Imperial Guard and the Imperial Navy and the Space Marines. Not that that's a bad thing, but for someone who also plays the other armies, I'm happy I can get a few more options from them now. And we just talked about the Shadow Aspect Warriors, and their X-Arch, and let's continue with the Super Heavy that they got, a brand new Super Heavy called the Lynx. Going first off the model, this also came available today to buy. I really like it. I like it because it's different. It's similar enough to the Eldar vehicles, but different, so it's not completely just the same thing copy and pasted over with. They've got this nice crescent shape in the back, giving the 4 engines, and the same style as like the Scorpion or the Cobra, but it's slightly obscured. It's not as uniformal in shape, and what it does is it wields a Titan class weapon on the front of it. And unlike most Eldar vehicles, it comes equipped with a shrinking cannon over a twin-link shrinking catapults, which is really interesting as well. And I kind of like the sleek design. It kind of gives this more aircraft feel for it, and there's a reason for that. And looking at the rules for this guy, it's 320 points, ballistic skill 4, which is pretty good comparatively to most Eldar stuff. Front and side armor 12, rear armor 10. It's a super heavy tank fast skimmer. It's got 2 structure points, and it's armed with a pulsar and a shrinking cannon. And it's got Eldar Titan holofields, targeting matrix override, and Sky Hunter. And he may exchange the pulsar for a sonic lance for free. So if you're more of a fan of the sonic lance on the Reverend Titan, then you can go with that setup instead of the pulsar laser. And can also replace the shrinking cannon with a scatter laser, a star cannon, or a bright lance, which is really nice. You can incorporate it into what part of your army you feel you're lacking in, and give it more if you want more anti-troop or anti-tank, or in the middle, you have those options to change it up. And it can also be given star engines and vector engines, and it's got the Eldar Titan holofields, which basically is, as long as it moved in the previous turn, it gains a 4+ invulnerable save against attacks, which is really nice. It makes them basically tanks with armor saves, which is awesome. It makes it that much harder to kill them. And they've got the targeting matrix override, is basically when the Lynx has, basically the primary weapon save against a crew stun, crew shaken, or weapon destroyed damage result is increased to a 3+ instead of a 4+. So it has a 3+ save to prevent itself from losing its primary weapon, which is awesome. It makes it that much more harder to get rid of, and that much more of a threat to your super heavies than the Cobras or the regular Reverend Titan and such. And it's also got this neat ability called Sky Hunter. At the beginning of the Eldar player's turn, a Lynx can choose to become a flyer until the beginning of its next turn. However, the Lynx may not fire its weapons in the turn that it flew. So basically, what it is you can basically go, okay, this turn it launches into the sky, flies, and then lands where it needs to go, so it can just like propel itself and make it just that much harder to hit. Granted, it makes it unable to fire its weapon, but you get the sheer fact that you could just basically sky leap over everything and get it to where you need it to be a little bit faster and a little bit more precision, which is really awesome and just makes the tank that much more deadly. Now, I've never built a super heavy for the Eldar, so I don't know how complicated the model would be, but I just love the look of this thing. Again, it's because it's unique, it's different, but staying the same at the same time, so it makes it stick out, gives it a little bit of a pop than you would see with most of the other tanks that they have given Eldar in the past. And last and certainly not the least in our list is something I've been waiting for quite some time, and that's the Eldar Phantom Titan. This thing is ridiculous. I mean, it's a very simple looking design, but it's just such a beautiful looking piece. It's got very similar arm weaponry like the Tau Crisis battle suits, where it's attached to the forearms and then the fists are holding on to the trigger pieces. And just like the Reverend Titan, it's got a little crewman in the front. And what's interesting is it's got a fluff-wise, this dude basically kind of does like an James Cameron Avatar like a thing. He gets knocked unconscious and becomes one with the vehicle. So essentially, the vehicle becomes his body. So it's like the Titan connection synapses that the Imperium has, but on a far greater scale. And looking at it, it looks like a giant Wraith Lord, which is, I'm not complaining. It took about a year for them to make this thing, and apparently it's got a very nice, full, detailed interior, which is really awesome. And I'm noticing here with this headpiece, that looks very reminiscent to the Warlock Phantom Titan that used to be made, which makes me wonder, are they going to have rules for the Warlock Phantom Titan in this thing? Because if they do, that is ridiculous. Or as this, but it's definitely, it looks like it's a different face piece from the one on the head, so I'm pretty sure that they're two different heads that you can put on this guy. I do like the interior design with this whole nice intricate web bone and the spirit stone that supposedly has the previous pilot's spirit in it, and the simple connectivity to it, giving it, that still that vast, superior technology look to it. I'm wondering how much intricate detail is inside of this thing, because the Forge World newsletter basically states that it's got a full detailed interior, and I just want to know how deep of a detailed interior it has. And looking at it, there's the picture of the back here. This looks like they definitely put a lot of heart into it. This apparently took a whole full year to complete and to completely design, which is phenomenal. It makes me really wonder just what's inside this thing and just how really far they went with it and how much posability he's got and all that. According to what the little information they give us, it's got a Phantom D cannon, a Phantom pulsar laser, which are supposedly some of the most powerful weapons the Adeptus Mechanicus has ever seen. It's got in one shoulder anti-air and another shoulder anti-infantry anti-personnel missiles in it, and a long barrel heavy weapon. Usually tends to be a star cannon. I don't know if you could see, it's right there in the shoulder underneath one of the missile launchers, underneath the arm holding the D cannon. And according to Forge World, it's their most powerful. It's the most powerful model they've ever made, and supposedly it's supposedly going to be the most powerful model to date right now. And if this thing isn't, I'm sure if they gave it rules to make it a Warlock Phantom Titan, then it definitely is the most powerful model in the game right now. And also they're stating this is the tallest model that they've made. Now, we know that the Reaver Titan is 16 inches tall, and that had on record being the tallest model right now. So he's definitely at least over 16 inches. Now, looking at him compared to his Reverend Titan counterpart, now, this model is about 12 inches tall, the little tiny guy, and he's about, so his cutoff here over here is fairly up to his abdomen. He's roughly, it's really hard to tell because of the way they're posing, but the Reverend Titan is maybe about half his height, so we're theorizing that this thing may be 2 feet tall. I'm not sure if they went that crazy with it, since 2 feet is, ridiculous, 24 inches, that's quite a leap from the Reaver Titan. So I'm theorizing more that it's probably maybe 20 inches to 21 inches tall. The maximum I could see this thing being. But it's definitely no miniature. This thing is huge. They haven't given us a pricing yet, but they're saying at the Forge World Games Day that's happening in a month or two, you'll be able to purchase this guy. And they haven't given a pricing yet on him or stats. His stats are going to be in the next Imperial Armor book, the Volume 11. I forget what it's called, but I'm definitely going to pick it up, and it's going to be the first time I've bought a Imperial Armor book since, I think the third original copy when they introduced the Reverend Titan for the first time. So that's going to be really interesting. Again, like I said, it's going to be the first time I've ever bought one because I want to see what this guy is armed with and how many points he's cost. In terms of pricing, that's a really tough one to call. Now, looking at the Reaver Titan, now I'm using the Reaver Titan as my basis on this thing because it's the closest model to compare it to. Now, a Reaver Titan is about 410 pounds without the arms. Now, going off of that, that's about $680, $690 in U.S. currency. So, guessing since the Eldar Titan usually comes with his own weapons, they don't do that, no weapon thing with him yet because they don't really make separate armaments for him to like mix and match. They've hinted that they might do it in the future, so he may end up doing that in the long run. But I'm guessing that he's probably going to stay cheaper than the Manta. I'm going to be guessing, I can't really guess how many pounds it would be, but I'm going to be guessing his American currency rating is going to be about, let's see, $800, $900. Like, he's not going to hit the grand mark. He's going to be below $1,000, is what I'm predicting. I could be way off on this. I don't know, but I will let you guys know once I find out how much he's costing at the time in British pounds and how much that converts over at the time. Thoughts, again, this is an awesome looking model. I can't wait to read up on its rules, and we'll look over it when I do get the book. And I know I swore after the Warhound Titan I wasn't going to buy anything big from Forge World again, but just buy like tiny parts, but I'm kind of losing that battle with this thing. I'm very tempted I'm going to start saving for one of these things because it's really, really pretty, and I mean, if I ever stop buying from Forge World, I would probably want it to be this guy. But this is like a future purchase that's years away, if ever, that I do it. I would start saving the money for him now, and once I have enough, I just put that aside, and then once I'm done with all of my 40K collecting, I would definitely consider picking him up. But he's not going to be a purchase anytime soon. You won't be seeing me doing a video of me building one of these guys in the near future. But I'm going to definitely consider it. It's going to be a little dream of mine to have this really awesome looking vehicle. That's it for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. What are your thoughts on these new models? Leave a comment telling me what you think. Do you like them? Do you hate them? What do you think the Phantom Titan is going to cost? How big do you think the Phantom Titan is going off of this photo? Now, go again. Like, Forge World says that the tinier Titan is 12 inches tall. So keep that in mind, and you're probably going to have to add half an inch. He's probably half an inch shorter right now because their bases aren't completely level. So how tall do you think is this? My prediction is 20 inches. One guy thinks he may be 2 feet tall. I think that's pushing it. I'm guessing that he's more about the 20-inch mark, if anything. So let me know what you guys think, and I will hopefully have a video showing my Adeptus Mechanicum army next week. So until next time, this is Helios Raven, signing off.